Namaste, welcome to the Cloud Factory. My name is Sandy, and this kurti was a request from one of you clouds in the group of Facebook, so we are going to make it. For that, in the last video, we learned how to make the basic patterns for tailored garments. In this video, we are going to use those patterns to make the transformation for this kurti, and also we are going to cut our pieces in the fabric. Here I have my basic patterns for tailored tops. If you don't have it, I will give you the link in the description box of this video. And remember, there is a correction you have to make. Also, I have another video in my channel. Just check my last two videos before this one to make these patterns. We are going to make a transformation in the front pattern. So transfer it to another piece of paper. Transfer the main points, the curves. You can transfer it directly. If you made these patterns in cardboard, it will be so easier to transfer it. So transfer the main points of the patterns, like the waist, the hips, every point of the darts, the armhole line, etc. Every main point of the garment, the pattern, the neckline curve, and then join those points to form your pattern again. We are not going to make any transformation in the back and in the sleeve, only in the front part for this design. Trace your darts again. And once you have it, here in the shoulder from the neckline point, you have to mark ½ inch. And in this line, you are going to mark the neckline depth. In this case, I'm going to mark 1 inch after the armhole line. You can mark as much as you need. Now I'm going to add an extension to my paper to trace the lapel. Now here in this point, square a line, and in that line mark the crossing of the front pieces. For this design is about 3 inch. And now using these 2 points, trace a line, make it longer than the shoulder point, like this. And now take the measurement of the back neckline in your back pattern. Take it in centimeters so it's more exact. And mark it from this point to here. Mark it here, and in that point square a line like this. And in that line we are going to mark 2.5 inch. This is the width of the lapel. You can make it as wide as you want, but for the design in the pictures is like this. Join those points and then finish this part with your French curve. Now here in this point I'm going to extend the line, and in that line I am going to mark 1.5 centimeters. Because my crossing space is wide, you can say, if you have a crossing space of 1 inch of less than that, then add only 1 centimeter. But since our space is wider, I am going to mark 1.5 centimeters, and I will join with a line with this point, like this. Now I'm going to fold the paper in this line, and I am going to transfer the shape of the lapel. like this. It has to be exactly the same shape. Now cut those lines we just draw now. Cut here and the shoulder part. Now from this point I'm going to square a line downwards and I'm going to close it in the base. Then I can cut my pattern, the armhole and the side line. And your front pattern is ready. This is the lapel, it will look like this. Now I'm going to make the pattern for the lining piece of the front, and for that you need to transfer all the main points of the lapel as I am showing you here. The curve, transfer it as it is, you can correct it later with your French curve. And here in the shoulder I am going to mark 2.5 inch. And in the base before the central line also 2.5 inch. Now join all the points. And now join this point with the bottom one. In this way. Now cut your pattern. And it has to match perfectly like this with your front pattern. Now let's cut our pieces in the fabric. I have 1.5 meter of this fabric and 0.5 meter of this fabric. This is my main fabric and this is the fabric for the lining of my lapel. You can use one fabric only, and in that case you are going to use 2 meters of fabric. I fold my fabric into layers and here I have the lengthwise grain of the fabric. In that direction I will put my patterns vertically like this and I will pin it. The front pattern, it has to be in this side because I want 2 pieces of it, and the back pattern I will pin it in the folded side of my fabric because I want 1 piece. For the sleeve, check the length you want. This line, it has to be also following the lengthwise grain of the fabric, and fold the pattern depending on the length you want and pin it. Now I'm going to cut my pieces. Consider 1 centimeter all around the patterns and in the bottom part 1 inch for the hem. Be careful when cutting the armhole curves. It has to be exactly the same shape than the pattern. The back pattern in the same way, 1 inch in the bottom part, other than that 1 centimeter. And the same for the sleeve, 1 centimeter all around and 1 inch in the bottom part. Now let's cut the lining for our lapel. I have 2 layers of fabric and this is the lengthwise grain of it. I will put my pattern like this and I will pin it. I am going also to consider 1 centimeter all around. And again in the bottom 1 inch. Now we are going to mark our seams in this way. Fold following the edge of the pattern and make a cut like this. And also in the other side. Fold in the edge of the pattern and make a mark in the hem And all around your patterns do the same with every pattern, every piece, to mark the seams. Now here I'm going to make a cut in this way, reaching the pattern, only the seam, and also in the front piece. And that's it, your pieces are ready to stitch. Don't miss my next video because I'm going to show you how to stitch this beautiful kurti. So keep in touch and I will see you the next time.